You're watching Inside Automotive with Cheyenne Malone.
Hi everyone, I'm Cheyenne Malone. Well, your customers are always evolving, so if you want that loyal repeat customer, your experience should be too. On today's show, we're learning a few tips on how to ensure your customers and employees have the very best experience possible. Yes, the bar is set. Joining us now to talk more about this, we have Brooke Furniss, founder of BZ Consultants Group. Thank you so much, Brooke. Glad to have you back on the show.
Thank you so much. I'm so grateful to be here. I'm really excited to talk about this today.
And you really always have great points, so that's why we bring you back. You often say, inspect what you expect. What do you mean by that?
Oh man, well, I think before we go there is we all claim to have the Amazon experience, but then going to the inspect what you expect is, do we really have the Amazon experience? We love to throw that term around, and I know we'll get into this, but looking at it saying, wait, my customer is shopping here, and we're sinking all this money into advertising and to acquire the customer. What about retaining the customer? That's a little bit more important. When you start looking at the stats of how loyal customers are 5 times more likely to repurchase, they're 5 times more likely to forgive, and 4 times more likely to refer. And you take that a step further, 7 times as likely to try new offer or some type of offering. So we look at that and inspect what you expect. There's more data than we know what to do with today. And yes, have that, but also understand how important it is to look at your process and how the consumer is viewing your product and the journey.
So how do we monitor this and evaluate it?
I would say when I look at stuff is I love to have when I go into stores and say, okay, I know that the digital marketing person created the website. That's their baby. They love it. You need someone to say your baby's ugly. So whether that's have the receptionist look at it, have the sales manager look at it, have someone outside eyes, because what you feel is an amazing website and it's the best thing ever is a horrible, horrible experience for the consumer. How many CTAs do you have on your site right now? Is it 10? Is it 2? Is there all different colors? Looking at other sites to say, wait a second, this is such a janky process and experience for the consumer. They don't even know where to click. Hick's law says that the more options someone has, the more time it will take them to make a decision. So if you've got stuff all over the place, it's really difficult to find, they're not going to click on it. They're less likely to click on it. Then if you take it a step further and look at your trade appraisal, this is one that always gets me, is I look and say, okay, your trade appraisal tool is KBB, we'll say. Well, that's on your site. But then you go into the digital retailing tool and it's trade pending. They're going to give you two different experiences. So why are we having this fragmented experience for our consumer and making it so difficult when they just want to buy a car?
So how do you determine if something is working?
I look at, for me, I'm obviously a big analytic person, so I'm going to look at Google Analytics, and that's just a portion of it to say, okay, I can see here that the consumer is clicking on, we'll say, the trim a lot, but they're not clicking on miles per gallon, let's say. Well, then why are we even putting that in the sub-menu options? Or I can see on mobile, it's a completely different experience in the sense that we're on our mobile phones all the time. I can go and say from there, wait a second, that if I remove the chat here, that's probably a better experience, or keep it minimized, or I have 10 hero banners in my hero. Do I really need those on mobile? Because statistically speaking, they're not even getting swiped. So look at the data in Google Analytics and say, is this coming through? And there's a whole social aspect as well, but on the website as well, really inspect to say, what is working for the consumer? What are they clicking on? Even from an advertising standpoint, if we like to blast the advertising agencies that they're doing a horrible job, but when you actually look at it and see, wait, the ad copy's great. It's going to the right landing page. What's happening is in store. So it's not just the digital forefront, it's what's also happening once the information and that opportunity comes to the dealership.
And we often know, the more engaged your employee is, they're probably going to be that much more engaging towards the customer. How can dealers foster a culture of employee engagement and empowerment at the same time? There's a thin line, I think, between the two, and how do you balance those?
I love that question. I am really big on finding out someone's why. If you know why your employee is working for you, not, hey, you can get a job anywhere. I mean, if you want to go to Buc-ee's, I think that's in Ohio or Texas. It's like 6 figures you can get. You can go to Apple Store, you can go to Chick-fil-A. They're actually going to pay you less. But why does Brooke want to work for my dealership? Why does she want? When I know that why, that hey, she's got. For most people know I have a bit of a shoe addiction. So, hey, she needs that money to go buy more Jordans. Okay, now I know that why. Okay, from there, we're going to empower them. I look at so many things from a fixed ops and a sales perspective to say, wait a second. So we're going to, in one little meeting, a long meeting, we're going to throw everything at the consumer and say, buy, buy, buy. You need to buy this F&I menu option. You need to buy this, this, and this. And then the customer leaves. Well, what happens then? Are we empowering our employees both on the sales side and the fixed ops position to say, hey, you're empowered to sell whenever the consumer is going to be empowered? Because if you empower your employees, that means they're going to take that and move it on to the consumer as well. So for me, it's really finding out the consumers or the employees why, which then they'll figure out the customers why, and really diving into that. And just from a standpoint of please, when you listen to your employees, understand that, hey, when it's their time off, let them have time off. Let them delete their email app. All these little things help to empower the employee, not just from a financial standpoint, but also so they're rejuvenated to come back in the store and want to work and want to sell.
I think that is so important, especially with the newer generations. The why has changed. I feel like when I was going through it, it was money was motivating and recognition, right? I want to be called up on stage. I want that P Club trip or whatever your company's offering. And it's certainly changed. You're right, because time is money too, right? For all of us. And a lot of it, people in this newer generation, they want different things, which is great. I mean, whatever is important to you and your why. Any final thoughts for us on this, Brooke?
I think the biggest thing is going back to what you said at the very beginning, is expect what you expect. That is something a slogan that I definitely live by, is to really go through, whether it's on the analytical standpoint, but also from an employee standpoint, to say, how often are we doing our one-on-ones? Are we doing them once a year when it's convenient for us at the C-suite? Or are we saying, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Employee, when is a good time for you? Understand how they work and really dialing in to say, how can I best improve them? And I was talking to a gal yesterday and we were just said, hey, that's great. You want my seat? Let's talk about that. Let's see how you can get to my seat and let me help you get there. Mentor, mentor, mentor.
Love it, love it. Brooke Furniss, founder of BZ Consultants Group. Thanks so much for your time and all of your insight.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Have a wonderful day.
And I also learned you too have a Jordan addiction. So we have this in common. We'll have to compare. So, all right, Brooke, thanks so much. And thanks to all of you for watching Inside Automotive.
Thanks for watching Inside Automotive with Cheyenne Malone.